All right.
You already started recording, man.
Let me just set the scene for people here. Okay. Hollis Thomas joins us, of course. All right. I send the invite. We text a little bit. We talk. We call. You call. We talk for a second, and then I send the invite, and immediately what's playing in the background is a sample of "Express Yourself," and you're drinking out of a giant coffee mug that says "Awesome Sauce." There it is, right there. You're still drinking out of it. You got the black sunglasses on, of course. The beard. Oh man. Oh, that beard. Not that my beard ever looked like a manly beard, but that, my friend, is a manly beard. Oh my goodness gracious!
I appreciate you. I've been grooming it and using different types of treatments. I went with the Viking treatments. They seem to be working quite well. With the Berserker edition.
Oiling and lotioning. And lotioning.
I learned what the Berserker was. The ones. That's what Go Berserk means. The Berserker Vikings, the most brutal known to man. So. I learned a lot. I've been learning a lot lately.
I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure the Berserkers are the ones that would run naked in the battle. They were the ones that were like totally bat, crazy.
Yes.
I remember
they were like they looked like giant bears though, and that's why they were called Berserkers, because they would just go bar none, the most feared of any.
If you, I don't know if you remember this, but when before Jason Kelce was like Jason Kelce, the celebrity.
Yeah. No, it's Travis Kelce and the Taylor Swift. He's gonna break up with her, and it's gonna be a 2-disc album about him.
Yeah, about some football player that she met once. It's very vague. Yeah, but I remember. Hugged his mom, hung out with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively and Hugh Jackman.
Wow.
And that Sophie Turner lady, the lady from the Game of the Thrones and stuff, that she was in the box apparently as well, fresh off her breakup with the Jonas guy.
Oh, wow, man. She's putting herself out there already, huh?
Wow. Because of football, I know way too much about pop culture. This is horrible. This is horrible.
Hey, it'd be like that sometime.
Well, I was going to tell you that before Jason Kelce was Jason Kelce, he went through this big berserker stage. Him and I think it was the Owen Schmidt, the fullback of the Eagles. They were just like big berserker guys.
Yeah, the big berserker beards. I think it was just I think it was just not even a fad. It was just something that the big guys were doing. Because what's the goal? The center for the Jets, Mangold.
Nick Mangold, yeah.
Nick Mangold. He had a lot of the big guys. They were going through that long hair, big berserker beard type phase.
Yeah, right.
So it's like I forgot to turn my. That's my phone. It's like
you got Stewie chiming in.
Please do not speak unless you're spoken to.
Who is that? A ringtone for someone?
Yeah, it's a ringtone just in general when my cell phone rings, and it's real funny when you're in the elevator and it goes off. Everybody's like, "Who?" It's like it says, "Please do not speak unless you're spoken to."
Oh God, that's amazing. Okay,
shall we get down to business?
Focus. Yeah, right. Okay, focus. Breathe. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let me just get out of the gate with this, because I've been dying to ask you this one question, because I'll never forget. You and I were doing a show when Bo Allen was drafted.
Bo Allen.
And you were all giddy. That's my warthog, man. That's my warthog. Yeah,
Fat Thor.
Fat Thor. Yeah, exactly. And that was his nickname at Wisconsin, Fat Thor. And I confirmed that. I actually asked him about it, and I said, "May I call you that?" He goes, "You can call me that." I'm like, "What? That's awesome." Anyway, so you were really excited about him,
right?
Where are you from draft day to right now, as far as what Jalen Carter brings to the table as one of your warthogs? What are you thinking of Jalen Carter?
Well, I got to go to Jordan Davis is more of my warthog.
Okay, Jordan Davis.
I love the fact that they brought the 1-2 punch, because I think the coolest thing is they played together in college, so they could feed off each other and they could continue their dominance. When they got Jalen Carter, I was elated, because I was actually in Kansas City at the time, because I'd never been to the draft before, because I was drafted. So Philly Sportship saw fit to take me to the draft, and I sat down there with the masses, and I had to rein back my terror for opposing teams fan, because they were so nice. And, it's like when somebody else comes a fan, especially a Cowboys fan, It was like when they was coming up to, I had to rein back the terror and be convivial about the situation because it wasn't a time of war. So I'm just saying.
You went in peacetime. You went in peacetime.
Yes, but it's like when you think about that, whole draft experience, and then at the end of the first round, we get Nolan Smith. Dude, talk about weapons out the wazoo. That's like, and it was like, I was like, oh man. And I'm glad Jonathan Gannon is gone so he doesn't mess this up. But it's the one thing. I was elated when we got both of those guys, especially. It's like it's rare that you get drafted in the first round, but to have your defensive line mate come with you, you guys wreaked havoc in college, and now you get to wreak havoc in the NFL. And it looked like they never missed a beat. It's like man, he's a terror, and he's everything. He's everything that we thought he was going to be. So far, so it's like, and I'm enjoying it. I did like the fact. If you want to talk about this past week's game, I felt like we kind of took a step backwards, but it's one of those things where you remember that last year we played this game, and they physically the Commanders came out and physically whooped our ass. Mm-hmm. The score was not indicative of the ass kicking that we took up front, and I felt like the guys this time they took it personal. It wasn't an ass whooping. It wasn't. It's like it was a war tooth and nail, and our guys we came out on top at the end. I was like it was a couple of times that and I told you we was going to get into the officiating, because even last night's game was horrific. It was like 3 calls that they made. And it's like my brother said personally said it was for the Chiefs, because when the Chiefs did it, they didn't call it, but when it happened to the Chiefs, they called it. So and I guess they were trying to appease Taylor Swift because they kept panning up there to her. But when you look at our squad, they're on the rise, and it's like, and especially defense, they starting to become a full team, not just one-sided. And it's like we had the personnel last year defensively to put people on notice, to shut them down, to knock the crap out of them. But we didn't have the architect to put everybody in place. And now this year, I think they have to get on the same page with Desai, especially with the matchup zones. A lot of people think that when you're in zone, it's as bad. It's like, no, if you talk, it's like in, out. I saw no pointing or anything. I'm hoping that they get on that page to where when they run a zone, they're pointing and stuff, and the guys aren't running scot-free. And I think the young guys, they're going to come to grips with that, especially. You saw the I don't know if you paid attention to this past game. It was one sail route that kept being open on the defensive left. Mm-hmm. It was a bit of a sail route, and it was a combination route. What they were doing, they was running somebody shallow, so the corner would have to come up, because the shallow route wasn't as shallow, but it was far enough back to where he could get some yards. And so somebody behind the corner was supposed to be like out, because it was somebody going behind you. So you're supposed to sink a little bit to deter the throw and to make it be a harder throw. We didn't do that. The guy was just wide open. Mm-hmm. And I hopefully they get on the same page with that. I think that was the only, I think that was, as a fan, if you looked at the game, that was pretty much the only gripe. And then the Brian Williams doing the little bird thing. I'm glad they lost too. Yeah, I hate when cats do that and then you lose.
Well, hey, if it adds a little extra motivation to the rest of the game, bring it on. Yeah. When it comes to Sean Desai, then, all right, yeah. What are you liking about Sean Desai? Because he was a bit of a mystery coming in here. Right. 1 year as a defensive coordinator, everyone knows his history by now. Mm-hmm. What have you made of Sean Desai? Because what I'm seeing is a guy that is not afraid to dial up those blitzes. What are you seeing?
I'm saying that same thing, but I'm seeing a guy that's not afraid to dial up the blitzes, and he's getting some timely blitzes, and he's kind of like. It's like he's getting familiar with the team that he has, because I think they have to know, and him and the team, this is their first year together, so there's going to be some hiccups here and there, but their hiccups are hopefully keep them far and few like they have been. And when he dials up the blitz, they look like they've actually been practicing the blitz. It doesn't look like. Did you see the one blitz that came? It was a delayed blitz with Morrow.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I love seeing. Because that would have been called a Mac-out delay in Jim Johnson's system. Because what Trout would do, he would do like this, and then he would come. And I don't know what this was for, because to fake like he was dropping in the pass, but you don't have to do like that, and it delayed it, and it normally worked. And then I like the stunts he's been doing up front, and just hitting people in the mouth when need be. I like the fact that occasionally the five man rush. That's it. That's what, if we'd had just a little bit of that in the Super Bowl, we didn't deter and we give them different looks, and that's what I like. We're giving people different looks, so they don't always know where we're going to be at. Mm-hmm. And then the guys up front, they are as billed. So that's why I was doing a show, and they was asking me what was I expecting from this game. I was expecting a little bit of revenge from our offense, which they got a little bit, but I was expecting it to be a hard fought game. We play these people twice a year. Ron Rivera was here. He's played against the Eagles a bunch of times, and he knows the team. And he's got the same Jack Del Rio, who I think is a jerk, but that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. But it's like they know this team and they're familiar with the team. And the fact that we were able to offensively last year, they came and whooped us. And they kept getting us off the field 3 and out. But then offensively, they just beat us up. It was like 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And if you're willing to do that and to keep our offense on the sideline, then that was the formula to beat us last year. And nobody paid attention because our defense was bend but don't break. Do you realize last year we gave up a 13-play drive to them, a 10-play drive, an 8-play drive, and the epitome of a 17-play drive? And we still we lost by 3. And it was 3 or 10 because they got a fumble in the end. But when you look at it, they had the formula last year, and that's what people used to do: keep the defense on the field because they're bend but don't break, and then keep the defense out there, keep the offense on the side, and just keep them out of the game like that. So I felt like it was a good revenge game.
Okay,
to me, because they stopped us from being undefeated last year.
I got to tell you this. I think of you a lot when I listen to Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is a very similar mindset. I think you two have a very similar mindset in that, like, in terms of being satisfied, like you guys, like everyone talks about the moral, like there's no moral victories, but it seems like with you and Jalen Hurts, there could be moral losses. And if you don't play to the standard, it's a moral loss. That's the way I like to put it. And you would shoot just real talk with me constantly when it came to the Eagles and their level of play that they should be getting to, their potential. Jalen Hurts is not satisfied, never satisfied, all that stuff.
Right.
They're 4-0 right now, Hollis Thomas.
Yep.
They're 4-0 right now.
Yes.
If you're in that locker room, how are you feeling about the 4-0 record? How are you feeling about the perfect record?
Well, the way I would be feeling is like all the W's are the victories are not going to be pretty, but the W's are sexy. So I know that I have to do more. I have to do more, and in saying that, you have to maximize your sexy on a daily basis is what I do. I go out, I eat to work out, and I work out to eat. So it's like you have to it's like your body. You have to constantly work on it, or if you let it go, if you rest on your morals, you be that fat ass dude standing by the pool thinking that you're cute, all oiled up, looking like a Christmas ham, instead of a delicious, tasty, well-cut turkey.
Now that you put it that way, it makes total sense. But
it's like if we were just winning perfectly all the time, everybody would be blowing smoke up their ass and stuff, and the coaches wouldn't be able to correct them on small things. But we're winning, and we're winning in a gritty way. And it's like, not to mention gritty from the Flyers.
I got you. Yes, I got
you. But it's like the victories, they're not gonna be pretty, but the W in the win column is sexy as a muff. You know the rest.
I'm gonna be stuck. Yeah, I'm gonna be stuck with that glazed ham for a while. But yeah,
but it's like when you think about the way the guys come out there and not being satisfied. You can be satisfied if you blow somebody out. I don't have anything to work on. Yes, the hell you do. The next team is not gonna be that easy. It's not gonna be a cakewalk. So it's like I like the fact that the guys are realizing it's the NFL stands for not for long. If you rest on what you did last week. This is a what have you done for me lately league, man. And everybody's like, oh, you're always clichéing. And you can cliche me to death. But the ones that I'm saying are the truth. If you don't produce, put it this way. If we got to go get our ass kicked next week, it's like, oh, what's wrong with the birds? Oh God. That's why you kind of keep on blinders when you're playing, and you know the goal, and you know that you have to continually work. It's a work in progress, because as a young team, you can get complacent and think that you are the sugar honey iced tea. And once you do that, there'll be that one guy, and then everybody says sucks ass, and he'll come and pull a Fitz magic, or a Kirk Cousins sucks move on you. And that's why I had to tell somebody they was talking about we're going to kill him. I was like, don't be so sure. The sun shines on the dog's ass every once in a while. it's like you have to. That's why you have to be on point. That's why I like the way that we're getting the victories, but it still puts us on notice that we can't rest on what we did in the past.
I want to ask you two questions about the Commanders game. One has to do with the touchdown late in the game that Jalen Hurts threw to AJ Brown. By the book, it's you bleed the clock. That's that. What was your stance on that? And then also Ron Rivera not going for 2 at the end of regulation. What was your stance on those 2 plays?
The first one, score when you can. Don't think that you just got the end-all, be-all. Just if you have the ability to score when you can. That's what they pay the defense for. We're supposed to stop them. Now, the other part, too, is my man, A.J. Brown. I love A.J. They have been bickering back and forth all game. Him and the young corner out of Mississippi State. I wanted him so bad. That's a ball. Number 13 for the Commanders. It's a ball hawk, dude. Six pick sixes in college alone. That's why when he was doing that, no, and everybody was like, no, don't play with him. He's that type of guy. He's got that speed. But in any event, you've been bigger back and forth all along. The officials have been, trying to warn you, and then you lay the ball at his feet, and then it's taunting. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. You have to respect it. But in that same light, I don't think he's going to make that same mistake again. But as a defense, you have a job to do. Go out there and stop them. And now we tried our damnedest to stop them. We botched it. We dropped the ball a little bit, and I just think it's just one of those things. Going for 2 at the end, you don't go for 2 at the end because that means you don't trust your team to close it out. It's not like it was. It's not like they were just we were just dragging the Commanders. They still had something left in the tank, and you go for 2 at the end. It was like you don't trust your quarterback like that yet.
Okay, that's
Sam Howell. You don't. It's like to go for 2 at the end would have been cool, but you didn't really. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It wasn't like he was like. It was like every other. Now look at what happened. Almost every other play, we were sacking his ass. Mm-hmm. And he caught the touchdown. He caught the touchdown. What do you think was going to happen on that 2-point play? A sack. Could have been. Yeah, and so you playing to win. It's like if you give your team. I feel like in that moment right there, Ron Rivera let his team know that he believed in them. He believed in that they would have the opportunity to win. Going for 2 means that I don't think if we go another quarter, we can't hang. We can't hang.
Okay.
It's like, no, you fought all the way back, dude. You go, and then you got the ball. You was primed to set. So it was just like, but that's what I think about those 2 calls. I think that both of them made the right call because it's like sometimes it's like when I used to play against my little brother. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll let you in a video game. Yeah, I'll let you in. Hell no, I ain't let you in. You won fair and square. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't beat you no more.
I used to let him, like if my little cousin's playing, I used to let him get to within a point. Ooh. And then I'd stomp on their hopes and dreams because I want them to have some hope to play me again, for when I'm bored.
Not me. I'm going to stomp your heart out. Make sure you, it's like you often see the little guys be walking up talking about, let's do the Oklahoma drill. Only if you sign a waiver. Because I am going to massacre you to let you know that you shouldn't be running up to me talking about let's Oklahoma. No.
Fair enough. Yes. I did. By the way, I did sign that waiver that time. Don't. I walk weird now, but whatever. So, first off, I know you keep in great contact with the audience. You guys do such an amazing job. Philly Sports Trips does an incredible job. You were just down in Tampa. You're still working with Irvin Fryer?
Yes, we do Vetted on. It comes on. We're on A2D Radio. Agree to disagree. We're on each and every Thursday at 5 to 6, unless there's some scheduling conflicts. Because when you're kicking ass in the NFL, you don't know when you're going to play. You get all the primetime games and stuff. So, and then Irvin's birthday was last week, and he went to Nebraska. I don't know what for. They got their ass handed to them on homecoming.
Oh yeah.
Well, they brought like one of their championship teams back, and that he was on. And he had some appearances, so we ended up doing the show on Friday. But other than that, we are on Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Myself, and we have Dog Talk every other week. We got Dog Talk coming up. Brian Dawkins comes on, and he talks about whatever. I normally bait him into talking about football because he was like, man, I don't watch the game like I used to. I was like, don't worry. I could bait you into talking about certain stuff, and I think it's got him into watching a little bit more because he's on one of those journeys from God. So
understood.
Yeah,
Understood.
That's all. But between that and Philly Sports Strip, yeah, I mean, doing what I can for the strippers,
Hey, we need nurses. Medical school ain't gonna pay for itself. You know what I'm saying?
I did, but just out having a good time and having a good time with the folks. I like to thank everybody who comes out to the Philly Sports Trip to experience. We go to Kansas City. I'm going to the World War I Museum because I didn't even know there was a World War I museum. As a kid, a lot of us that around our age, they used to teach us about the Civil War, the War of Independence, and World War II. They skipped right over World War I.
Yeah, I learned about the Chicago Black Sox before I learned about World War I. No,
exactly, we did because it's like that was the team that cheated, or that tried to cheat anyway. The one guy paid the team to throw the World Series.
Look at us knowing stuff.
But that was around the Gas House gang time too. It was the Gas House gang.
Oh yeah. Sure.
The Cardinals, same. The Gas House gang. They throw fast. The Deans and stuff. Dizzy Dean and all them. You learned that. Have you ever been to St. Louis around Busch Stadium?
I have not been to St. Louis, unfortunately.
Our esteemed colleague is there now.
Oh yeah, of course, Josh.
Yeah, he's on a station that used to pump rock radio when I was in high school, KC 95. I was like, he's right where he's supposed to be.
That's great.
Yeah, it was funny because he was. I don't think he had been to Busch. I think he had been there, but I don't think he had been to they have a whole thing that they built up around Busch Stadium.
The new Busch, the most recent Busch.
Yeah, the most recent Busch. But it's like I hadn't been there, and I saw it was like all the history of the team and stuff. And when you go around there, it's pretty enlightening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's great. No, I wanted to go when I was traveling a lot with Sunday Night Football, and St. Louis, the Rams moved back to LA. I was so disappointed because I wanted to at least cross St. Louis off my list. I'd been to Kansas City a number of times, but I'd never been to St. Louis. Plus, I had heard that the Dome, they just let it go. They just let that go to hell in St. Louis.
God. That's why Reggie Bush ended up suing them because
that's right. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Because he messed up his knee on the turn, and they pulled it back, and it was just like concrete. I was like, "Hey, Caesar's ghost." But they just had a football classic there or something.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know why, but
I got a couple.
Go ahead. There's two college teams. Go ahead.
Okay, I got a couple more for you, real quick. Tush push, brotherly shove.
Right.
As a guy that would be lining up against that, trying to stop it, can you stop it? Should it be illegal? What is your take on the tush push, now known as the brotherly shove?
It's a way to stop it. You have to get underneath. You have to get underneath the guys that are pushing. Get underneath the guy. Get underneath the center of the watch collar. A lot of guys that when you watch it, you notice the guys are from across are not in their goal line, like goal line stance. My hands like this. My head is down like this, and I'm launching. As soon as that ball snaps, I'm launching underneath the center and the guard. And as you launch underneath, you're supposed to grab for the ankles of the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Jim Johnson technique. That's how you stop the quarterback sneak. Because if I have his legs and I'm lunging this way, no way he can go the other way, and then you just push it back. You don't Chris Sims it up and go head hunting. He's a bum.
I'm gonna, real quick, just I'm gonna take on that, and you can tell me whatever it is, but I thought that he made a good point. I thought he illustrated it terribly, though.
Yeah, he didn't really make a good point.
Okay.
Not because that's why he plays off. That's why he tried to play offense. see, in order to stop that tush push, you have to get underneath the center and the guards and stuff. And once you cut them down and they're not pushing anymore, and then you have the guys, the D tackles, grabbing at the legs of the quarterback, so he can no longer push. When you go head hunting, all you're doing is you're about to grab a face mask.
Okay.
And what's the face mask? 15 yards.
All right.
So where you think the tush push may not have worked, it did.
All right.
So you don't go in head hunting in that situation. That's why he played offense or tried to play. I don't even know why he has a platform. His dad is paid for that. His name is Chris Sims, not Phil Sims.
Fair enough. All right, last thing for you when it comes to this team. As we mentioned, they're 4-0, Hollis.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know honestly, how good should we feel about this team? How good are the Philadelphia Eagles? Are they better than the Cowboys? Are they better than the San Francisco 49ers? How good are the Eagles at 4-0 with, as I mentioned earlier, the imperfect, perfect record?
Let's see. We are the hunted, right?
We are the
NFC. We are the reigning NFC champions, are we not?
Oh, that is correct, sir.
Yes, and we are the team to beat. So all those other people, oh yes, they do things. Do you know that some Cowgirls fan ran up to me talking about how many they've been averaging 30 points? I was like, and it's got them absolutely where? At home every year.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so until somebody unseats us, we are the team to beat. We are winning still. Despite the what people may call shortcomings, despite people thinking that things are shaky, we are still kicking the ass and taking names. And until you unseat us totally, you have absolutely nothing to say. They are the team to beat. It's kind of like when they was ranking the players and somebody put Justin Jefferson in front of Jalen Hurts instead of it should have been Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and then the rest of the field. Because everybody, are they talking about what was the best team? The best two teams. The best two teams were the ones who played the Super Bowl last year. Did I miss something? Did they not tell the teams that were in the playoffs that they were in the playoffs to go to the Super Bowl? And then, am I missing something? Did you watch our playoff run?
Mm-hmm.
Did we kick ass and take names?
A lot of names, a lot of asses. Yes.
Yeah. Did our team not? Did our offense not put up a performance that at any other time on earth would have garnered a victory, except for where you have the architect of your defense named Jonathan Gannon thinking about his time when going to the Arizona Cardinals? Did our quarterback not go tooth and nail with one of the baddest QBs in the land?
Tooth and nail.
Yeah. So when they talk about Justin, Jefferson, get the hell out of here. Yeah. We're talking about it's a reality check. Reality check. Oh, he's better than you. No. Where was he at on Super Bowl Sunday? He was cooking queso.
Hollis, when is Kansas City your next Philly sports trip?
The next Philly sports trip is LA. We're going to LA. We're playing the Rams. Remember we playing the Rams?
Oh, Sunday. Yeah, this Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday coming up. I leave on Thursday morning. Oh yes, and I'll be down there soaking up some of the sun. Listen, actually, I'm going to stay away from the Hollywood people. I may catch up with Snoop Dogg and
oh yeah, sure.
Reminisce about times past.
Tell him I said hello. Tell him I said no.
The next Philly sports trips is actually there, but we actually have our Phillies are currently in the playoffs, so we have a tailgate coming up on Wednesday. It's going to be at Live Casino right there in the parking lot. We'll be right there at valet, get going hard in the paint until it's time to play. So fantastic. we got two. I'm going to both of the playoff games Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll be in the Diamond Club. Just look for me there.
You're not easy to miss. We know where you are. We can hear you. We can wherever we are. Mr. Hollis Thomas, always great catching up with you. Make sure you guys check him out on A2D Radio. Make sure you check him out with Irvin Fryer, Brian Dawkins, obviously Philly Sports Trips. Follow all his social media accounts as well. Hollis, always great catching up, brother. Thanks so much.
I appreciate you for having me all the time. Sorry I couldn't get you earlier. I think it was earlier in the week or last week. I was all over the place, man.
Yeah, literally. Tampa, Philly, all over.
Yes.
Hollis, thanks, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
The great Hollis Thomas joining us here on the Ruffman Orthopedics guest line.